There's a fresh call on Nigerian youths to make themselves more technically useful and employable rather than just acquiring paper qualifications. Now, that call is coming from Governor Ibikunle Amosun during the commissioning of the Ogun State Science and Technology Institute in the state capital. The institute is a collaboration between the Ogun State government and Samsung Heavy Industry of Korea.
In the era where employers of labor are looking for more than paper qualification, skill set comes in really handy. Invariably, this is why the Ogun State government is encouraging students in the state to pay more attention to the veritable options of technical education. That gave birth to this Science and Technical Institute in Idiaba, Abeokuta, the state capital, a collaboration between the Ogun State government and Samsung Heavy Industries of Korea.
Today, our dear state is the industrial capital of Nigeria, with over 140 new industries in the last 6 years. We are also the education capital of Nigeria, and we must continue to leverage on this advantage by ensuring that our youth are equipped with the right industrial skills and have the right certification. This will place them in good stead to ensure that they are not only employable by the new industries, but could also take advantage of the value chain opportunities provided by the new industries as small-scale entrepreneurs.
Education regulator Professor Ishaq Oloyede believes that this partnership is a mileage in Nigeria's development.
I want to thank the state government for providing all these opportunities. I believe they are fantastic. I believe they are products of commitment to the people of this great.
The students of the institute are filled with positive emotions and gratitude to the Ogun State government.
Even looking at our equipment, the things we work with over there, you will see that we are doing a lot of things. It is a very rare privilege for people that are here, and that is why we want to say a very big thank you.
So for the glory of God, I submit all this.
After the commissioning, Governor Amosun and his team are conducted around the facility. With this innovation in technical education, the youth will not only be employable, but also become more self-reliant.
Let's take a look at some sports news now. Here's Barong Tony Uranta.
Thank you, Ijoma, and welcome to Sports News. Nigeria's home-based Super Eagles have begun the second phase of preparations for the 2018 African Nations Tournament to be held in Morocco. 31 players trained today under the watchful eyes of Coach Salisu Yusuf as a fight for a place in the 23-man squad for the tournament heats up. The team is expected to train twice tomorrow in Abuja. Nigeria's best performance at the tournament was a third-place finish under Coach Stephen Keshi in 2014. And elsewhere, Atletico Madrid have reported Barcelona to FIFA for an illegal transfer approach for Antoine Griezmann. The Catalan club has been linked with the French forward in the Spanish media and may have made contact with Griezmann's family, who are also his representatives. The Barcelona, who were issued with a one-year transfer ban in 2014 for signing underage players by a World Football governing body, did not respond when asked for comment. FIFA said they had received the complaint from Atletico, but had no further comment at this stage. A new Borussia Dortmund coach Peter Stöger has had his sights set on glory as his team prepares for a heavyweight round of 16 German Cup tie with Bayern Munich tomorrow. Cup holders Dortmund have won 2 games since Stöger took over from Peter Bosch earlier this month, rediscovering their winning ways just in time to face Bayern in Munich this week. Faced with his biggest test yet, as Dortmund coach Stöger is allowing himself to dream of silverware as Dortmund look to retain the German Cup. Dortmund will be without Marco Reus, Mario Goetz, and Massimiliano Filippi and Gonzalo Castro. Athletics Now, and American sprinter Justin Gatlin says he's shocked and surprised at doping allegations made against his coach and an agent. Gatlin insists he's not using and has not used performance-enhancing drugs. Athletics anti-doping officials have begun an investigation into what the president of the sports governing body called serious allegations about Dennis Mitchell and Robert Wagner. Reports say Wagner, an agent linked to Gatlin, offered to illicitly supply performance-enhancing drugs to undercover reporters. Well, that's it on Sports for tonight. I'm Barong Tony Uranta, and Ijoma will be back with the wrap.
a lot, Barang. The Saudi-led coalition battling Yemen's Houthi rebels says it's intercepted a ballistic missile near Riyadh. Now, this comes a month after a similar missile came close to hitting Riyadh's airport. Saudi Arabia and the US have accused Iran of supplying the Houthis with a missile, but Iran denies arming the Houthi movement, which has been fighting a war against Yemen's government and the Saudi-led coalition since 2015. And in Europe, the German government has acknowledged that it was not prepared to deal with the aftermath of last year's attack on a Christmas market in Berlin that left 12 dead. On the one-year anniversary of the attack, the Justice Minister apologized for the errors in the response. Families have said they were not given timely information and that they were sent bills for the cost of autopsies. The German Chancellor, Angela Merkel, also met with victims' relatives for the first time after being accused of inaction. A report commissioned by the government and released last week cited a number of failures in the response to the attack, including delays in confirming the identities of victims to their relatives. The police in Zambia have abandoned their decision to employ 8 Chinese nationals as police reservists after a public outcry. Well, that decision comes barely 24 hours after the commissioning of the police officers amid fanfare in the capital, Lusaka. Zambians had questioned the recruitment of the foreign-born reservists, which they found puzzling, given that a decision had been taken earlier this year to ban police officers from marrying foreigners for security reasons. In a statement, a spokeswoman said Police Chief Karoma Kanguganja rescinded the appointment of the Chinese nationals because of concerns of the populace. And she adds that members of the public should be aware that the appointments were not done outside the law. And the main news again. A mild drama broke out today in the House of Representatives as PDP and APGA lawmakers walked out of plenary over the Speaker's refusal to declare a particular seat vacant following the defection of the member representing that constituency from the PDP to the APC. Also today, the Senate faltered the 2018 budget proposal as lawmakers accused the executive of inconsistencies, inaccuracies and padding. And Saudi Arabia-led rebels in Yemen today intercepted ballistic missile targeting residential areas in the capital city of Riyadh. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks so much for staying with us. I'm Ijoma Bunyato. Good night.